Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with the Watauga County Arts Council and Blue Ridge Art Space, and I'm back here again to share more with you about what's going on in the arts in Watauga County. You know, we're all still dealing with all of the excess of the shutdown and some of the reopening and all the things that that involves. And one of the things that really makes a real big difference to folks is getting to enjoy something that's entertainment, that's fun, that's maybe therapeutic too. So the Blue Ridge Art Space and the Watauga County Arts Council have been working together to bring, or working as a unit with some folks to bring you a really cool series that we started quite a few weeks ago now. A guy named Lucas Treba came to me with the idea of having benefit concerts because Lucas was very concerned about artists of all descriptions, not just musicians, but musicians in particular, who had lost their income because there was no gigs anywhere for them to play. And, you know, if you're depending on the gigs to pay your bills, then there's a problem. So we were trying to come up with a good idea for a benefit concert, and we came up with the idea of instead doing a benefit series that goes on and on and on, and it's been a lot of fun. We're also celebrating a lot of different kinds of arts. So we've celebrated visual arts, literary arts, and music. And we'll keep adding more to that mix. There's so much to choose from in this community. It's amazing. So at any rate, you'll have an opportunity to make donations during the concerts, and your donations will go to an artist relief fund, which we will have make available to artists who need some financial help to get them through. And so we can help them out in that way. This week we are doing, we're going back to music. We've been on visual and we've been on literary, and we're back to music again. And we have a guy that I'm just getting to know actually. His name is Russell Chamberlain, and I'd like to introduce him to you. Hi, Russell.
Hey, how's it going?
It's doing good. Now, Russell, tell me about you. I haven't met you before, so where are you from? What are you doing these days?
Well, I was born in Mississippi, lived there until I was 8 years old, and my family moved up near Mount Mitchell to the CeeLo, or near CeeLo community when I was about 8 years old. So I finished growing up around here. Let's see, I attended boarding school in Iowa and then went to UNCA for a while. And after that, I cooked at Penland School of Crafts for one thing. I helped install solar panels for a while. And got a job fixing electronics. And
now, surely that wasn't the only thing got you into music, though. I got a feeling it's been in your bones all along.
No, I've been playing music this whole time, but that got me interested in physics. Came up here to study math and physics, and that made me catch the teaching bug. So I got a master's in teaching with a focus in college education, and now I'm an adjunct professor up here. I teach at App State in Caldwell.
That's great.
And play music whenever I can.
And you are, what kind of music? I mean, there's so many different genres of music. What do you do?
The easy way to talk about it is folk and blues. I tell people that I started playing guitar because my dad brought home some Stevie Ray Vaughan tapes, but I kept playing guitar because I was given some Ani DeFranco CDs. It's all context, right? All history is context, and music is the same way. And I try to play a song that is modern but reminds you, you know?
I think that's a large part of what folk is about too, is it speaks to your life and your experiences and your, you know, things that mean something to you, you know. Now, go ahead.
Music of the people.
Exactly, music of the people. And so now, do you perform in places around this area?
So I've been around at open mics a good bit, and had a band here and there. Amy Hassel and the Hedgehogs played a couple shows before our drummer sadly went to grad school. So I started a little solo deal for me and was working up to it, and then I kind of got a repetitive strain injury. Too much rote practice, and I had to take a few months off.
Wait. What kind of too much what practice?
Well, if I was playing tennis, they'd call it tennis elbow, but I was playing guitar, so they call it guitar elbow, you know?
I've never heard of that.
I played into a nice recording device for the first time, and I tried to play the same thing, you know, for an hour a day or a couple hours a day. I was patting myself on the back for nailing 5 hours of rote practice one Friday. Saturday morning, woke up and I had to, it was like my whole elbow was swelled up. I just had to stop for a couple months.
I have never heard of that.
Um,
All these years I've been in the arts and I have never heard of that.
yeah, it's apparently, Ani DeFranco had to quit for a year for tendinitis. Over half of orchestra musicians get a repetitive strain injury before they retire. So it's almost like a dirty little secret in music. That artist you really like, when they skip a year putting out an album, it might be because of a repetitive strain injury.
Now, once you have recovered from that, is it something that you're in danger of doing it again and you got to be more careful than most?
So when Amanda talked to me about this, I had just come off a couple months rest, and I'm warming up, getting unrusty again, you know, because you got to be careful. You got to be careful, you know. Another thing that actually has helped is not having to type so much, because my main job is teaching and I've been off for a month. So essentially I'm warming back up, and this is my first gig in a while.
That's great.
And
now, where do you play gigs around this area? Where are places we can hear your music?
Mostly you can find me at open mics. I'm not very well connected. I spent most of my time here just trying to get through grad school. But I think you'll find me out and about a little more often lately, or in the next summer. And I'm definitely going to be trying to do more live streams and stuff. You can also check me out on my website. It's amyisn'there.net. And you can ask me in person about the Amy story.
Oh, I was getting ready to do that. You and I might be a long time before we get in person.
well, I'll give you the one that doesn't provide any locations that might get me in trouble.
Fair. That's fair.
I was reading a book called The Family Fang, which is about performance artists. I was a very studious physics student. I expected to be able to study in my normal habitat over spring break, over Christmas break, New Year's Eve, you know. So I arrived at my normal study spot, and it was spring break and it was not open. I was livid. And some people had been partying outside pretty darn hard. And there was a sort of that sort of ammoniatic stench, you might say, and just sort of random objects like a plastic bag full of like beanie weenies, and cans of beanie weenies, and a bouquet of wildflowers, and like a couple plastic bags and a roll of toilet paper. So, you know, I'd been taking an art history class and thinking about the meaning of art and everything. And I'm starting, you know, things are starting to open up. I'm watching people walk in and they go by this, and the look of disgust on their face is so deep, you know, so just, ugh. And light bulb goes off in my head. I say, you know what I ought to do? So I went over to the store and I got some purple sparkly duct tape. And I printed out a little placard that said, a matter of taste, installation in paper, plastic, tape, flowers, and urine.
Oh my goodness.
By Amy Hassel. And all of a sudden, it was something to be appreciated. People walked by it and they go, I'm supposed to get this. There's nothing to get. I had two people sit down and like try to figure it out. So whenever
they're too embarrassed to admit they don't actually get it. So
it's just trash with the title.
That's fun. That is really cool.
So Amy Hassel is a mythical person that represents artistic genius and the feminine mystique. because no mortal person should ever bear the burden of those things.
That is really, so now your band is Amy doesn't live here anymore. Amy isn't here anymore.
So when the band plays, it's Amy and the Hedgehogs. We're the Hedgehogs. Amy didn't make it. When one of us plays, we make a riff on the name. So my riff is "Where's Amy?"
That's really cute. Well, I think that's quite clever, and that's really a neat story. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Now, listen, on Saturday night, you're going to be on the Arts Council's Facebook page at 7 p.m. And you told me that you're going to pay around 6 or so numbers, however much the time allows you to fit in there. And folks, it will be something you don't want to miss. You're going to really enjoy a chance to get to, I mean, obviously he's got a great sense of humor, and I got a feeling, I haven't heard his music, but I got a feeling it's something we do not want to miss because it's going to also have a great sense of humor. So let's see what he does and see what kind of sound. I know from talking to him before we started taping this that he knows his stuff when it comes to the music and the sound. So I think it's going to be something worth checking out. Remember too that you can also, while you're listening, you are not required, but you are definitely encouraged to make a donation that would help artists that are struggling financially through the Artist Relief Fund. You know, artists don't get to apply for unemployment. It doesn't work that way. So this is a great way to help them out. And so we hope you'll join us and check it out. And remember that you can always keep up with things like this on the Arts Council's Facebook page. You can also check our Instagram page and our website, watauga-arts.org. And you also, many of you remember, I hope many of you still remember, that we have a building at the corner of Chamberlain and State Farm Roads. It's called Blue Ridge Art Space. And the building is sitting empty right now. And you know those little blue people that are on the front porch doing all kinds of cool artsy things? Well, they're kind of lonely right now. So if you go by there, make sure you say hello to them and tell them that whenever that we do manage to reopen the building, which we're not quite ready to do that yet, but when we're ready for that, that you're going to come back and see them again, and we're going to make that place just as lively as it already was, and just have the arts just oozing out of every window and every pore. So please join us. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. And in the meantime, check us out Saturday night, 7 p.m. and come meet Russell. Thanks, Russell.
I should mention real quick, if you want a little preview, I've got one recording I'm a little bit proud of on the website now, amyisn'there.net.
All right.
It's best
Definitely.
I can do right now.
We are going to go check that out right now. That's on my to-do list right now. amyisn'there.com.
.net.
.net. Got you. All right. Will do. All right. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. I'll be talking to you then.
Thank you so much.
And folks, come back and join us and every week, but be sure to come join us Saturday night.